Hello, everybody. I'm Lisa Shield, and welcome to Finding the Guardian of Your Soul. I am so excited because today I have a very, very special guest, Cindy Weichert,
Where is Weichert now?
because that is not the name I will first get with.
That's Irish.
Cindy, welcome. It is so exciting to have you here.
Well, thank you, Lisa. It's an honor. And I can't wait for us to talk about everything that's happened in the last 2 years.
Uh, well, let's dive in. Let's start at the beginning, where you were, and how you first found me.
Yeah, that's interesting. I honestly don't know how I found you. You just appeared and I was not looking. Certainly, I didn't even know people did and do what you do. So I was not looking for a dating coach, but I do remember being on YouTube and there you were. You just appeared in my life and I listened to what you had to say. And I'm like, wow, that really, really hit me a deep level because everything you said was just like you knew me and we'd never even met yet. And so I decided to take advantage of your 45-minute preliminary consultation. I think we had a bit of a trouble connecting for a week or so, but when we finally connected, same thing. It was as if you knew me. You just nailed it. Everything.
And Cindy, let's talk about what was going on in your love life.
Nothing. Nothing.
Oh,
I had been divorced since 2014, and I really had not dated. I did not trust myself, didn't really trust men. I love men. I work with men all the time. It was just, I needed to take this time out and focus on myself, on my son. I was homeschooling him at the time, and just my own personal growth and development and my career, and just to heal. So there was really no plan in place. I just knew I needed to take that time out. I didn't know if I would ever date again or be together with someone. I know some friends had encouraged me to get on an online site from time to time. And I was curious and I'd open it up. And within 2 minutes, I was closing the computer and saying, no, I can't do this. I don't trust myself. At that point, had I known about you, I probably would have reached out to you, but I just was not going to go this alone at all.
mhm. And so you had not even really dated online.
No, not since my divorce. No, I had not dated. So that was what, almost 8 years. And another thing that's kind of funny that around that same time, both my neighbors on both sides of my home, couples, a man and a woman on both sides, moved out and single women moved in. And it freaked me out. I just didn't see myself being that for the rest of my life. Alone, single woman. So that was all around the same timing. And so that catapulted me into really being ready to take the leap and trust you and trust your program and just decide to go for it.
And Cindy, can you share what you do for a
I'm a pilot for a private jet company, charter. So I fly an 8-passenger corporate jet.
amazing?
Yeah, there's a lot of travel, obviously.
Mhm. And there you were meeting all these men. That's all you did. You flew men around, you met men, you probably
Work with primarily men.
and nothing was happening in your dating life.
No, and I wasn't looking, and most of them are married. And I think what you discovered early on was just that I was closed off to it. I don't remember. I don't know if you remember. I said, I don't feel like I can turn ahead. And you set me straight. But I wasn't witnessing that. I wasn't experiencing that. Men weren't asking me out, but clearly I was closed off. And so what was going on up here was manifesting out here, doing what I needed to do.
And do you think it was also because you were in a much more masculine way of showing up in the world? Or do you
I can't, I've done this for so long. I don't know how to be different other than that.
we're
And I'm comfortable around men. I'm one of the guys. I remember I did an experiment after you and I started coaching together. And at one of my trips, I went down to the hotel restaurant bar, and would usually just get my stuff and go. I wouldn't hang out there. So I would do this experiment, and I'm going to put my phone down. I'm going to put my head up, go my eyes out. I'm going to look like I'm having fun. And it was Christmas. So this was that Christmas of 22. And they brought these things that you could access via your phone. So I did that, and I was turning the music on and off. And I was just by myself, but I was having fun. Started chatting with the guy next to me. And before I know it, yeah, this guy across the bar is giving me the authentic, you know. So it was a very interesting experiment, um, just to change my energy that I was being out there. And like you had said, and I, I guess I was afraid. I didn't want to engage that way because I didn't want people to, I don't know, wasn't ready. I didn't want to invite God into my life. But this was a really good experiment because he would have definitely showed me some interest. And when he walked out, he peeked over my shoulder, and I was at my phone at that time to go, cute dog. So there was some energy. It was definitely an energy change. It helped me understand, like, okay, she's right. If I just open myself up and allow the energy to be different, or to,
And you and I spoke,
Mhm.
and tell me what that call was like for you.
I remember crying because, and I remember we probably went longer than that, 45 minutes, because you just hit things spot on. A successful woman who has been successful in her career, worked hard, spent a lot of money to achieve that level of success, and felt as if the romance side was just going to fall into my lap. I was holding on to that Hallmark romance fantasy. I didn't know what else to do. And I remember crying by the time we were off the phone and coming to an end. I was bawling because it's like you were spot on. And then now I was faced with the decision. Like, okay, I can I've gone through all of that with you, talking about this stuff and having this epiphany, I guess, and just stay there, or I can take this huge leap into this scary other place and trust you and possibly go to a new place.
And Cindy, if you don't have to share your exact age, if you don't, but can you give women a sense of what age you, right around where you were, if you were in your 50s or your 60s?
Well, let's see, so I was 56 when we started, and I got married at 57. So,
Mm.
yeah.
We're in your mid 50s already, when a
Mhm.
lot of women are thinking, okay, that ship has sailed, it's too late, I waited too long. I hear this all the time. Now, number one, I'm looking at you and I have you're pretty, you're even prettier now.
Thank you.
I know you know that love allows us to relax into ourselves and let go and be feminine and not have to have those walls up and that tough exterior. And I can see a lot of that. Not that, I mean, were gorgeous. When you told me you couldn't turn ahead, I almost fell off my chair. Like, well, you're an absolutely beautiful woman.
Well, thank you.
And you really stepped up. You really stepped up for yourself. So you signed up right then and there, that call. And what happened when you got off the call? Did you think, oh my God, what did I just do?
Oh, yeah, for about 24 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, that was scary. It was a big commitment, a big financial investment.
Yeah.
So all of those things were very scary. But again, I think I just heard your words, and like you were so spot on. And these single women moving in next to me, it's that inner pleasure, the carrot and the stick, which I know I don't want that. I don't
Yeah.
want to be alone. And I'm not going to do this on my own. I had to move forward and pull the trigger, and here it
Yeah.
is.
And it was almost as if, you had walked up to the edge and looked over and said, "No,
I'm like, "Oh, that's right."
you
I'm
weren't
like,
doing it on your own."
"I'm not taking that."
Yeah. And so let's talk about you came into the course and what was your first big breakthrough where you were like, oh my God, I made one of the best decisions I could have made.
First. Just loved going through the modules. This wasn't just somebody holding your hand and getting me online. It was like, no, we're going to take 6 weeks or so and we're going to prepare you. I loved that you had all of these training modules. We need to evaluate and figure out these things. And I think the most profound during that time was the relationship inventory, without a doubt. I can remember I had a day when I was working, but I was pretty much in a hotel room all day. And I was able to really focus and dig deep on that. And that was very eye opening and healing. And I just remember that having a profound impact on me, allowing me to put away the past and move forward. Um, so that, and then I loved going live with all of the other ladies and hearing their stories and who's doing what and where they are and thinking
Right.
things through and hearing how they're handling. Because the dating situation, I've never really dated. I just got in relationships.
Right.
And I really didn't know how to date. And so all of this was new, and it's very nice to have a community of like-minded women on the same path and different stages to travel this new journey. Very helpful. And reaching out to you and Cassie, et cetera, just made it all possible. And I remember really enjoying those first few dates. I can going shopping, getting new clothes, talking to my girlfriends. What do you think about this? Or what about this outfit or that outfit? And then, like you would say, not to really have any expectation for the outcome, but just to go have fun and learn something. And so I really took that approach, and I did. I had fun, but I also noticed that I definitely reverted to that anxious attachment style. And then Benjamin said something one day that really changed everything for that. And that mindset was, he said, "How many other dates have you got lined up?" I'm like, "None. People told us you need to fill your pipeline." And so filling the pipeline changed everything. You didn't just put all your eggs in one basket and hope that this guy was going to be the one and work out. So it was just a really great learning process.
And
Um,
also, Cindy, I'm guessing actually having a structure, right? If you're just doing it on your own, and I want you to share with me your perspective on this, but my experience in life is that at this point, at this stage of the game, if I'm going to make any radical changes in my life, it's almost impossible to do that on my own without help and structure. It may seem like I'm going to read a dating book and go, oh, okay, and figure it out. But if you don't have that accountability, the coaching, the whole step-by-step plan, the group Q&A calls where you can get your questions answered. Am I doing this right? Is there a better way? How do I say this? Should I go on another date with this guy? If you're trying to make all of these major changes on your own, who's going to make time for this?
and I think women of our age and career, I mean, we're not 100% secure in the dating world. Otherwise, we wouldn't be where we are. But so, yes, to have that support network, that structure, that the guides, you guys guided us, even down to picking the photographer, helped in so many ways. So that, okay, they've helped me create this whole package. Now I just need to show up and and try to have fun on this date and learn something new and see where it goes.
Over. But it's so hit and miss. You have no sense when you're on your own. And especially, like you said, if you've never really dated and you've just fallen into relationships,
Yeah.
And that hasn't worked so well. You've been maybe attracting the wrong people, men that weren't on your level or men who were not good guys in the end.
And I think that we can start to feel like, what's wrong with me? And now, having gone through the course and your material and the mentorship, it really, yes, I was able to look at me and say, okay, I need to do this differently or that differently, but it's not all me. It's oftentimes the man. It's just not a right fit. And yet we try to cram this circular peg into a square hole or something. And it's just, why? But been there, done that. Didn't want to be with again. So I was thinking earlier before we had this call, like, where would I be today? My husband's right over there now. He's home and he works from home and he's in his office doing his work. But where would I be today? I would not be married and in this situation had I not, had God not put you in my life and had you not had your program in place and said what you said to me.
You would be.
I do not believe I would be here. That's for sure. I would be here physically, still by myself.
Yeah, with all those single women moving in or
Which uncle? Yeah, come out and still
uh,
wondering.
and
So
so Cindy, talk about you did the first month, you did your relationship inventory, and of course the final five.
yeah,
And did Benjamin write your profile?
you did, and I tweaked it, of course, to reflect you. But
Okay.
I like to say that I created a very narrow profile. We had to thread a needle, and Tom did. He thread that needle, and but that's okay. I didn't want to just this big odd whatever. I was looking for very specific, and that's what worked for me.
So you had gone out, I think, with somebody else prior to meeting Tom.
Yeah.
That you really liked, who turned out not to be your guy.
Yes.
Right before you met Tom, you met a guy, and I think you really liked him, but he turned out, did he ghost you or?
Did it? No, he just dropped me like a hot potato. And I'm so thankful now. It was painful
Yeah.
because everything seemed right, but I just believe that was a divine intervention. God's said nope. And it's funny, after that, I look back at the text, what went wrong? What did I do wrong? And overanalyzed the whole thing, but decided, okay, I'm taking 30 days off and I just shut it down.
They talked. We actually we talked after that. We
Yeah.
were at that when that happened, you and I actually got on a call together
Mm.
and we talked about it. And I know I would guess, because I know myself, that I told you to keep going.
And I did. I just needed a little bit of time. And
Yeah.
I'm glad I did because towards the end of those 30 days, I started feeling the wounded healed and I was curious again. And so I started opening it up and taking a look, and there was Tom's smile. Raw.
And tell me,
I mean, emoji smile. Yeah, I hadn't seen his profile, but he
oh,
had seen mine, and he sent me an emoji smile.
on what site?
Um,
Everybody wants to know what site.
Oh, elite singles.
On Elite Singles.
But I
No.
had on, I think I had been on and off two others. But yes, that was elite singles. And I know you've said stuff about the sites, one being better or not better than the other. I guess just from my experience, it was more of how the software operates. Some of them are clunky and easier to manage than others. So operationally, I guess it wasn't as if all the cool guys, rich guys are over here. They are spread all out. Cause I think Tom was on Match for a while and I don't think I ever went to Match. Some of the platforms are just not user friendly. And I think Elite Singles was pretty streamlined. So,
Oh, good. Okay, that's great to know. You met, got his smiley emoji, and tell me what happened.
it's funny because I was feeling a bit unguarded. And so I smiled back and we exchanged text messages a few times. And he lived about 4.5 hours away from me because he was still in the army up at Fort Benning. And so I was like, "Yeah, I travel all the time. I just don't see me traveling uh, on my off days. It's just not gonna work." So I was pushing him out. But the cool thing is he so politely, because I other guys that I would talk to would either get hostile and ugly if you did that. Others would say snarky things. He was just the right amount of sweet and salt. So he very politely would pursue me, and then he'd say something all romantic. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a real Hallmark movie, but yeah, I'm being real. So there was this push and pull. He felt like I was rebuffing him, but there was enough intrigue there that we just kept it going. And yeah, then moved to the phones and moved to video chat. And for about a month before we ever actually saw each other face to face, we were building that way. So in hindsight, this whole distance thing really worked to our benefit in a couple ways. There was a lot of this lead up to the date rather than just, one text message and a phone call or something, and you meet for coffee and you never see him again. The whole month to lead up to this, kind of build that anticipation. And then when he came down to Jacksonville, he stayed. I think he came in on a Friday evening, after late afternoon, and didn't leave till Monday morning, stayed at a hotel. And so we had like multiple dates. Our first date was about 5 or 6 dates. So gave you a little bit more time to explore, and we had fun. We got to do the beach, we got to do the dinners, we got to do the breakfast, we got to do all kinds of different things.
And how long before you knew that this was your guy?
So that would have been in June of 22, pretty quick. I would say within a couple months. Yeah, I really strongly by August or so that this was real and we were making it work long distance, and job worked helped in that case actually.
One thing I remember vividly
Mhm.
about you, I remember how incredibly cool you were. Like, you really got it. Once you started to learn about this stuff, you were one of those women who was such a good student. And I
Mhm.
think one of the things that you said a couple of times when I heard you, your message just resonated, just clicked. You were saying everything that I was feeling. And I think that's so telling, Cindy, because the way it wasn't just my messaging was good, but because my messaging clicked with you, you then really clicked with the rest of my messaging
Right.
and got it. Like you really got it. Cause I remember from our conversations when we'd be talking, and you were pretty confident by the time you had done the first, maybe the first 2 months, that you were going to meet somebody. You were determined. You were having a ball.
I was having fun. I don't recall tapping into that great confidence trends, but maybe you saw something I
Or
didn't.
the
No,
amount of fun you were having.
didn't have fun.
You just were having so much fun and you were going on the dates and you were on fire. And I just remember thinking, she's going to, I may have probably said this to you. I know I did. You're going to
Yeah.
meet someone very quickly. And
And I don't know that I ever really believed that.
I could tell by how you were being. You were open, you were having fun, you were enjoying men, you weren't getting in your own way. I know the one guy was a setback, and of course we know those guys are not setbacks, they're setting us up.
Yeah.
I but I remember that just how you were being, and I was like, "Whoa, like what guy wouldn't wanna be with?"
Well,
You are in a great place, and it doesn't shock me or surprise me at all what an incredibly handsome couple you are.
thank you. Yeah, in so many things. It's just again the timing. Just he hadn't been in back in the States for very long, leading up to his retirement. There's so many things. We just every day we're like in awe, going, "Thank you, Lord," because we know that He just brought us together. We're and just that his personality, my personality, he loves to talk about this, and he's so thankful to you. But back to the your course, yes, I do my personality, I definitely like structure. I like the fact that you have very comprehensive, serious program. It's
Mhm.
just, "Hey, let me help you get on this Match.com or something." No, it is very deliberate, thought out, lots of time, energy, your personal stories put into it. That resonates with me. I like to cross my T's and dot my I's and be prepared, and that it did that for me.
Well, you knocked it out of the park. Can you share right now? I know you said you can't even imagine where you'd be right now. We talk about finding a guardian of your soul, and it sure sounds like Tom is the guardian of your soul. When I see those photos, one, I look at the two of you and I think, wow, they are so aligned. They're so in love. They're so happy and they bring out the best in each other.
Yes, I love that.
And what does it feel like to have gotten it right this time, Cindy, to know?
Never make me cry again. I have to stop and pause and reflect like this because I'm so grateful that everything aligned and you came into my life. I said yes. I moved forward. I walked through the steps. I did what you guys said. And I met Tom, and it's amazing. I have a life now and a life partner who I will spend the rest of my life with. And like many neighbors, I don't want to say that there's anything wrong with them or single women, but it just freaked me out. I didn't want to be that. And now I'm not. And we are truly partners and we are very much in love. We have this devotional time that we do most mornings when we channel. We can do it over the phone too for traveling when we have time, but we'll spend an hour or so talking, reading a book together, doing devotionals together, praying together. And that is so incredibly valuable, that time with any man in my life, and really grounds us. And it sets us up to be able to go out and do other things, whatever else we need to do, but it really keeps us connected and we're strongly bonded. I love that. And so, gosh, just not having that in and of itself.
Could you imagine that?
No, I don't want to. I was there on my own for too long, and I don't want to go.
For an us or being a person of faith, most faith-based people feel that partnership is a big part of that.
Absolutely.
Being able to share your life with a real partner is one of the great gifts
Yeah.
with life and of being a faith-based person. So I know that that would have to feel just like such a void in your life, not having someone, and then to find a man who shares your faith
Yeah.
and wants to share your faith with you. Simply.
It is an absolute dream come true. It is otherworldly, beyond, above and beyond what I could have created in my own mind as to what life could be like. I had hoped certain things I had hoped, nation, and just how a best friend. He's my playmate now too. That was a hope and a dream, but it's felt so out there and unattainable.
I am so happy. I just loved you when we met. I feel every bit as more the same as when we first met, Cindy, and just knowing that you're so happy and so in love and loved. It is my greatest joy in life to think that this little program can change other people's lives, beautiful women who deserve love like you. What would you say to that woman who's so afraid to make that investment or even just get on a call with us?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. If this is something in your heart that you want to have a best friend, a partner, a guardian of your soul to spend the rest of your life with and find the right one, absolutely. You just, I guess I weighed the pros and cons. I'm either going to stay stuck doing what I've always done, or I'm going to try something new. I'm going to trust you, trust the process, and we go out there. And I'm so thankful I did. And I would encourage them to do the same. Yes. Make the investment, um, trust the process, step through it. So there's no guarantees in anything ever, but you're certainly going to come out a better, stronger woman, period.
Well, no matter what. Finding love at the end is the goal. Program itself is really about personal transformation
Yes.
for the
When I never hesitated to tell anybody about you when I would go on a date or something, I'd hired a dating coach and I'd tell them about the program. They're like, sounds like therapy. I'm like, yeah, that it was exactly what I needed. So I would encourage women absolutely to just trust, take that step out there. Everybody's process and progress is going to how quickly or how not it goes.
and just to be clear, like we do in a matter of months what you may spend years trying to accomplish in therapy.
Right.
Is we're so focused on this specific issue. Now, it's really very focused and it's got a very specific outcome.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, when you're in therapy, you could be talking about your issues with your boss one day or your kids or your whatever. Or, so this is really a direct means to an end.
I agree. I didn't need to go through that relationship inventory for 6 months or a year or more. No, I dug in,
Yeah.
you know, went through it, learned from it, and next. uh,
Yeah. You didn't wanna sit there and stay there and process, and
no,
that's the difference between therapy and coaching. Therapy tends to look backwards, coaching looks forwards.
yeah,
We identify the problem so that you can focus on the solution to the problem. I don't need to keep going back into the problem. I don't want you to. I want to get you here. And that's what's so beautiful. Cindy, I am so grateful and touched that after all this time you would come back and share your story. We've been trying to get you on here for a long.
it's been a crazy year for sure.
No, it's okay. I'm just glad that we were able to do
Oh,
it.
me
And
too.
and it's so great to see you, and I know you had a beautiful wedding.
Oh my goodness. It was amazing because just real quick, it was Tom's retirement ceremony from the military
Oh,
and at the National Infantry Museum. And so he did his ceremony. We're like, let's just give everybody a twofer. They're here anyway. And as we discussed that, come to find out they had a World War II chapel on the grounds. So it was just perfect. It's like, seriously? We can do your ceremony right here at whatever that was, 1 o'clock. And then we can just walk 200 yards around the corner into this beautiful old World War II chapel and everybody can just join us. I'll be the one to change clothes. I'll be in uniform and get married. It was just spectacular. Everybody, we loved every minute of it. And it wasn't over the top, but it was just right. And everybody had a good time. Perfect.
that's amazing. So it was like he ended one chapter of his life and walked right into the next chapter.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. Give him my love, and I just wanna thank you so, so, so much. One last thing I wanted to just underscore, you talked about this being an investment.
Mhm.
And I, have a 5-day masterclass coming up soon. It's 5 days. It will be every day at noon Eastern Time, and this one starts on February 5th. So I'm very excited next Monday. And I am so excited. But one of the things that we actually are doing as part of this masterclass on day 5, we talk about making an investment in yourself. And what I did was I created, because we give them a workbook for this whole course. And one of the things I have all of the women do in the course is literally write down all the things they've done to try to get this solved, right? So therapy, reading
Yeah.
book, Googling, YouTubing, whatever, talking to girlfriends, and look at how much time they've wasted, right?
Mhm.
Multiply
Mhm.
that by how much you get paid hourly at work. So that
Mhm.
time, right? Because your time is worth money. And then we have everybody look at all of the expenses, like the cost of being single, cost of paying all your bills on your own, paying a single supplement when you travel, not
Right.
just your own retirement. And so we have them add up all the money and all the time that they are wasting, right? And by the time you get done looking at those numbers, it's, oh my God, this is the best investment I could possibly make.
You're absolutely right. And I think you talked about return on investment,
Yeah.
not just for the love side of things, but the financial, been beyond anything I could have dreamed up, hoped for. But of course, that's not what I was looking for.
Right.
But that came as part of the package. And it's not something I'd really thought about so much before until you brought it to my attention. And so that's very valuable to sit down and put all that on paper because we just see that initial price tag and it's scary.
Yeah.
Um,
But look at how much money you have saved having a partner. He pays for your dinners. He does all these things if it's the right guy, which we're wanting it to be. And think about all the dinners out every time you go to the grocery store,
Yep.
right? All of those things. And now you can cut all of that in half. One of our women, which I thought was really incredible, she said to me, I asked her because she was a school teacher. And I said, how did you afford the program? And she looked at me like it was a no brainer. And she said, Lisa, I knew I was going to meet my guy. And I knew when I met him, he was going to be paying half of everything. She said, the half what I say for the first few months on rent and bills and all, I just took that. She had gone to her credit union and taken out a little, just a small little personal loan. And then she took half of all of her money, like give her the rent money, would go right to paying off the money that she got for doing the course.
Everybody's got to find their process for that.
Yep.
But it is definitely, you can't just look at that and then the ticket, but to look at all of this. And yeah, I'm so glad I did it. So thankful. I could have so easily allowed fear to make the decision, and I didn't. I just trusted it and I pulled the trigger, and then I walked through each step. That's another thing. If you're going to invest this money, invest the time. Let this sit on your shelf or give it 50% effort. No, you decide that you're going to do this. You're going to do everything that you have put in place. You're going to go on the dates, and it just gets better and better and better. Oh.
On that note, Cindy, thank you.
More.
I am over the moon. I wish you all the best. I want to thank you again from the bottom of my heart for being here. And I want to thank everybody who joined us today. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Lisa Shield. This has been Finding the Guardian of Your Soul. And if you'd like to join my masterclass, you can sign up by going to lisashield.com/masterclass. If you cannot make the scheduled time, that's okay, because we will send you the link to the replays so you can watch them at your leisure. You can also sign up for a call with a member of my team by going to lisashield.com/reserve. LisaShield.com is where you can learn more about me and the work that I do. There's also a link to a free 45-minute presentation, which is probably the one that Cindy watched before she did her breakthrough call. Hopefully, you will be our next success story, and we can help you find the guardian of your soul. Much love to you all, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Lisa. Tell Benjamin.
Can I meet Tom?
You want me to, you're still on?
Nope, I ended.